Before he became the Mahatma, before the salt marches, the spinning wheel, and the fall of the British Empire, Mohandas Gandhi was just a young lawyer in a foreign land. And it was in South Africa, not India, where he learned that fighting injustice wouldn't require bullets. It would require something far more dangerous. A cold night, a lonely train platform in Pietermaritzburg. A young Indian man dressed in a smart suit holds a first-class ticket, but a white passenger demands he leave the compartment. When he refuses, he's thrown off the train, left in the dark, shivering, confused, humiliated. This was Mohandas Gandhi's first night in South Africa, and it changed him forever. In the days that followed, the lesson became clear. Hotels wouldn't serve him. Stagecoach drivers beat him for refusing to sit with luggage. Laws stripped Indian immigrants of rights, dignity, and even humanity. But Gandhi wasn't just angry. He was awakening. He quickly realized he wasn't alone. Thousands of Indians lived in South Africa, indentured laborers, merchants, families, all targets of the same cruel system. So Gandhi acted. In 1894, he founded the Natal Indian Congress, a unifying force for South Africa's Indian community. He petitioned, he protested, he built a movement. But when the government stripped Indians of the vote, it became clear words weren't enough. Then came 1906. A new law forced all Indians in the Transvaal to register and carry passes, complete with fingerprints like criminals. This time, Gandhi didn't just organize a protest. He created a philosophy, Satyagraha, truth force, the power of nonviolent resistance. At a mass meeting in Johannesburg, thousands took an oath. They would resist, peacefully, but unshakably. Gandhi called it a spiritual revolution. The government called it sedition. He was arrested, beaten, imprisoned. So were thousands of others. But the movement only grew stronger. In 1913, Gandhi led a mass march across provincial lines, hundreds of men, women, and children defying racist immigration laws. They were jailed in waves. Even Gandhi's wife, Kasturba, was imprisoned. But the world was watching. Under pressure, the South African government folded. The 3-pound tax on former indentured Indians? Gone. Indian marriages? Recognized. The Black Act? Repealed. It was Gandhi's first major victory, and it wasn't won with violence. But behind the victories were contradictions. Gandhi wasn't a perfect figure. He built a movement, yes, but one that often excluded others. By the early 1900s, Gandhi realized that fighting oppression wasn't just about changing laws. It was about changing people. So in 1904, he founded the Phoenix Settlement near Durban. It wasn't just a farm. It was an experiment. In simplicity, shared labor, interfaith harmony, and moral discipline. Gandhi and his followers grew their own food, lived communally, and printed their own paper, Indian Opinion, a multilingual publication that became the heartbeat of the movement. This was Gandhi's ideological laboratory, where the soul of nonviolence was being forged. Indian Opinion wasn't just a newsletter, it was a weapon. Through its pages, Gandhi exposed abuses in the mines and prisons, rallied support across India and Britain, and shaped the moral backbone of resistance. It connected South African Indians with a global fight for justice. In many ways, it was India's independence movement, in print before it hit the streets. But not everything about Gandhi's time in South Africa was noble. Gandhi's early writings often spoke of Indians as being superior to Black Africans. He sometimes argued for Indian rights by distancing himself from Black communities, reinforcing the very racial hierarchies he claimed to resist. At times, he even supported segregation, believing Indians deserved better treatment because they weren't native. It's a complicated truth. The man who would later fight for all humanity didn't always speak for everyone. In 1914, after 21 years in South Africa, Gandhi boarded a ship back to India. He had arrived a quiet lawyer, He left a revolutionary philosopher, armed not with violence, but with moral courage. He had founded resistance movements, mobilized thousands, created new institutions, and invented Satyagraha, a force that would shake empires. And even though he left South Africa never left him. What Gandhi built in South Africa wasn't perfect, but it was powerful. It was where he first learned that injustice could be resisted without hate, and that even in the darkest places, one spark of courage can ignite a revolution. If you think Gandhi's fight in India was his greatest battle, you might be surprised to know it all started here, on a train platform, on a cold South African night.